Hello friend, in this session we shall discuss one of the important function of management, that is the controlling. Now we know that there are four basic functions of management. These are planning, organizing, directing and controlling. So there are various functions of management, but all the remaining functions of management can be grouped into these four basic functions of management: planning, organizing, directing and controlling. So we know that planning is a base for any activity. Planning is thinking about the future. It is a future course of action. In organizing, we organize the various resources. We allocate the resources to the person. We frame out the organization structure. We do the staffing, and then there is a directing where we execute the work. So right from the planning to the organizing and then to the directing, there is a smooth flow of activity, and then directing leads toward the controlling. Here you can say that controlling, although it is a last function of management, it is here a input for the planning. So this is just like a cycle, or you can say process, and therefore it is also called as a management process. This is known as a management process. Now controlling work as a feedback to the planning. So and here one thing we should keep in mind, that this planning, organizing, directing and controlling, these functions are interrelated with each other and they could not be isolated. Means when we start planning, up to some extent we think about organizing, we may start organizing also, and then automatically we move toward the directing. And then controlling is basically a mechanism where we take a feedback of the actions of the performance. So what is controlling? So what is controlling, or what is the concept of controlling? Basically when we do the plan, when we make a plan and we start executing the plan, it is our job to check whether the things are happening as per the plans. There may be always some sort of discrepancies, there may be some problems, and the plan may not be executed exactly. So control help us to finding out whether the things are happening as per the plan or not, and if it is not happening as per the plan, then what is the problem? It helps us in finding out the problem, and then after finding out the problem, after analyzing the problem, we try to rectify the problem. So it check the current performance against predetermined standard. We set the standard in the plan. Standard are the part of the plan, and what is the ultimate purpose? To check the progress, whether it is satisfactory or not. So it is a management tool where we set the standard, measure actual performance and then take corrective action. So this is a control mechanism which help us to ensure that whether the things are happening as per the set plan or not. So based on this function, we can define the control in a various ways. It is a process of gathering and feeding back information about performance, so that decision maker can compare actual results with plan results and decide what to do about any apparent discrepancies or problem. As per the definition of Reeves and Woodward, it refers to the task of ensuring that activities are producing the desired result. Basically, controlling means taking a assurance, ensuring the management itself whether the things are happening properly or not. So, control in this sense is limited to monitoring the outcome of the activities, reviewing feedback information about this outcome, and if necessary taking corrective action. We have one another definition quoted by Terry Franklin. It is determining what is being accomplished, that is evaluating the performance, and if necessary applying corrective measures so that the performance take place according to plans. Now, what is the importance of control? Now, control, as discussed earlier, it is one of the important function among the 4 basic functions of the management, and it work as a input to the plan. It is not that once we plan the things and the things will happen automatically as per the plan. There may be certain discrepancies, there may be certain problem, and we have to take corrective action. Sometimes we have to change the plan itself also, and therefore control influences on the various things of the organization. It influences the organizational strategy. We have to verify the policy time to time. In a long term, organizational strategy is set, but whether if in future when there is a actual time of performance, suppose the things are not happening as per the plan and it is not possible to take certain corrective actions, certain constraints are there, certain limitations are there, what we can do there? Then we will have to change our strategy itself. Therefore, when we form the organizational strategy, we have to keep in mind that it should be flexible enough so that in future we can make certain changes in that strategy. Changes may not be major, but certainly some minor changes may have to be taken. Then the design of organizational structure is also influenced by the control. We know that there are various levels of organization and we have various types of organization. Now, what type of organization structure it is? Suppose line and military organization structure is there, which leads toward the autocratic type of leadership. In this case, the control will be very tight. A close supervision is required. But if we do have a structure where we are using some sort of democratic type of leadership style, in that case liberty is given to the subordinates. A supervision is not as such very close. So, self control of a subordinates is very important, and therefore control influences the organizational structure. Then control always create some sort of psychological pressure, a pressure of performance among the individual. Right from the top to the bottom, every individual is influenced by the control mechanism. He has to check his performance, and not only subordinate but his boss, his immediate boss is also influenced by the control, because he is also being monitored by someone else, and therefore the performance appraisal, the process of socialization of individual, the process of selection is also influenced by the control. It helps in giving the promotion, it helps in the process of appraisal at a large. We have to coordinate the process overall function, and when we take a feedback, we may find that there is a certain problem in particular department, and due to the performance of this department, another department is going to be influenced. So control help in coordination mechanism. We take a feedback from that particular department that what is the problem, and that problem is rectified, and therefore control help in coordination. And ultimately the leadership style, the motivation is also influenced by the control. Why we are doing all these things, why the control is essential? The ultimate purpose is to improve the efficiency of organization. We have to make the organization more and more effective, and therefore control is very important. What are the features of control? What are the characteristics of control? It's a part of management process. It is continuous process. As we have discussed earlier, that planning, organizing, directing and controlling forms the loop. It is the continuous process. Control is also a continuous process. It starts at a particular time and it ends at a particular time. This is not true. Once you start planning, organizing is immediately there, and then directing is there. So where the control comes? The control start as soon as we start the plan. Though we could not recognize, but control is always there, and therefore it is not that it start at a particular instant and finish at a particular instant. It is a continuous process. It's a never ending process. We know that there are various levels of management. There is a lower level, middle level and top level. There may be more levels also depending on the size of the organization. At every level the control is essential, whether it is a lower level, whether it is a middle level or whether it is a top level, because the performance start from the top to the lower level of the management. It is forward looking. Although the control takes the feedback and it checks the present performance, but why we have to control? We have to control that the things because we should not make the mistakes in the future. If we do not control, if we do not check the performance, the things will be in a progress. Whether it is a wrong or right, we do not know, and it will be continued. So it is a forward looking, it is about the future. Although it takes the feedback from the past or current performance. It is closely linked with the plan. This we are going to discuss in a next slide in a detail, how the plan is closely linked with the control, and then it is a tool for achieving the organizational goal. Of course, why we are doing all these things? We are doing all these things because our ultimate purpose is to achieve the organizational goals. Now, what is the relationship of controlling with the planning? Planning is the first function of a management. We know that We take the actions may be from the organization and then our direction, and then we check these actions, we take a feedback from this action. So, here we can say that there is a continuous flow of information, and then this control gives a feedback to the plan. If there is a certain gap, certain discrepancies, certain problem, then the feedback is given to the plan, and again it leads directly to the control. It may be through the action or then may be control. So, this is a continuous process where we take the feedback, we check that feedback against our plan, against our standard, and give direct feedback to the plan, and then and hence in this way this process is continuous. Now, what is control process? We know that we set the standard, we have a certain desired outputs, and then there is the actual performance, there is the execution of that of the plan. Once there is a actual performance, we have to measure this performance, we measure the performance, and then after measuring the performance we compare the actual performance with the standard. Here we have a certain standard and this performance is measured against the standard. Now, here we have to take a decision that whether there is a deviation among the in between the actual performance and the standard. Here we have to find out if there is a deviation. Suppose there is no deviation, the things are happening as per the plan, no problem, it is very well, continue the performance. But suppose there is a gap, there is a deviation, then what we will do? We will analyze the causes of a deviation. There may be a single cause or there may be a number of causes for a deviation. Why the things are not happening as per the plan? We have to analyze this, and after analyzing it properly, we have to take a corrective action plan based on the problem. And then when the corrective action plan is taken, it leads toward the implementation of corrected plan, and then again our output will be there and this output will be achieved. So, this is again a process, this is a closed loop, or this is a continuous process. Control is nothing but a feedback mechanism where we try to continue our performance as per the set plan, set standard. Now, it is very important to set the standard properly. We know that there is a one tool which is called as a SMART. What is it? It is that the goal should be specific, it should be measurable, it should be achievable, it should be relevant, and it should be time bound. If the goals are not specific, if goals are not properly stated, then there will be a confusion. Suppose I decided that from tomorrow I shall wake up early in the morning. So, what will be my time? For someone it may be 7 a.m. early in the morning, and for someone it may be 5 a.m. is early morning. So, it should be like that, from tomorrow I shall wake up 5 a.m. So, the goal is specific now. It should be measurable. If it is not measurable, then the control will not be possible. It should be achievable. It is not that something dream is there and which is not realistic, which is not practicable. It should be relevant, and of course, it should be time bound. then this standard become the basis for comparison for the goal and performance, and therefore standards are very important. A proper setting of standards are very important. So it should be enabled to goal achievement. What are the inputs for the setting of this goal? The customers, the observation from the competitors, and you may go for the benchmarking. Benchmarking is nothing but finding out who is doing the best in a industry, and then once a benchmarking is done, you may set your goal as per that particular competitor. Suppose the team of Australian team may be the benchmark for cricket. A country which is planning to improve its performance may benchmark the Australian team, or it may benchmark the Indian team also. So once a benchmarking is done, then it will be easier to set the plan, to set the standard. Then you have to compare to the standard, compare actual performance to the standard. Quality of comparison depends upon the measurement and information system. So there should be a proper measurement, there should be a proper feedback mechanism. The better the system, it will be easier for a company to track performance and identify the problems. If the system is not proper, if the mechanism which is giving a feedback is not proper, then again there will be a problem itself in the control mechanism, and the performance could not be improved. So what corrective actions we can take? Identify the performance deviation. Once there is a deviation, analyze this deviation, and then at last ultimately develop a corrective action plan and implement it.